I'm not going to describe my guest today as the most beautiful woman in the world because physical beauty is transient. However, as a career woman myself, I will say this. She is a role model in a country where working women still have very few role models. She has never given us this cliched statement so many Hindi film actresses make, I'm focusing on my career right now so I won't get married. And in the past 3 years, she has proved that this male-dominated, sometimes gender-prejudiced Hindi film industry will make an exception for a married actress who remains committed to her fitness and her work post-marriage. Aishwarya Rai Bachchan, welcome to Headlines today.
How sweet. Thank you so much. Oh my God. That was very special. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
But, that's my take on your career and the industry. But would you agree that you've perhaps managed to cross many hurdles that many women before you have not managed?
I wouldn't have thought actually this would be kind of associated so strongly with me, because I definitely do not believe I'm the only one or I'm a first. But going by the response that I have been now receiving since marriage so strongly from not just the media, from actually within a lot of people within the industry, from a lot of my viewers and well-wishers, it's wonderful and very gratifying that I can be one of the reasons where a lot of preconceived ideas and perceptions could be dispelled. It is a good feeling, but it would be unfair on my part to take the credit solely, because I think it's more so because of the like-minded professionals I have met.
Well, I was interviewing Priyanka Chopra last year, and she told me that until you came along, we really didn't know whether the audiences for sure would or wouldn't accept a married actress, because most married actresses took a break post-marriage. Why is it? Who was it who advised you? What was it that...
My story, I think from the time I entered the movies, is just individual. It's very unconventional in the sense, like even when I came into movies, I didn't have a conventional launch pad, or I wasn't even like a conventional newcomer that, you have your first movie and then you kind of see the reaction and then you sign on the others. From the beginning, I was already a workhorse, already working on 4 films the first year itself. And so in that sense, and I think even the way the industry welcomed me, which is I'm very, very grateful for, it wasn't like a conventional newcomer. They already regarded me with, they of course ended up giving me a lot of responsibility in the kind of roles that I had very early in my career, and hence the expectations that I had to live up to, and hence there were also disappointments where people felt, she really needs to get her act together in terms of the acting craft. People weren't very generous, and they weren't very forgiving either, which probably a lot of the other newcomers will enjoy. And I think what happened with me during marriage, just to bring it down to what exactly you were asking me, was that very unconventionally, I got married halfway through a film. So I think the challenge, which we didn't even think about, but what was very interesting was when Jodha Akbar released, neither could the viewer, the director, or us within the team pinpoint which part of the film I was Aishwarya Rai and which part of the film was Aishwarya Rai Bachchan. And that I think in itself is a statement. That to me is the larger picture, that you need to know that nothing necessarily changes. So there's no need to change and alter perception.
I have never understood why producers, I remember once talking to a director about Madhuri Dixit immediately after marriage, and he assured me, because he didn't realize that I'm a super duper feminist, he said, don't worry ma'am, he said, don't worry ma'am, I've given her a role that suits a married actress. What on earth does the industry mean when they say a role that suits a married actress?
I don't know, but I think what's also probably what makes my story individual is the fact that from the beginning of my career, I did not think whether this is the kind of role that a girl will do or a woman will do, or which stage, which phase of your career and your life. So I think I freed myself of all these kind of manners in which an actor her career can be compartmentalized into phases. I think I kind of broke that from the beginning. That took guts. That took a lot of, I remember the initial years of my career, people would be like, but why? Don't you think you should do these dhamal films, do the more fun-loving films, and, become this permanent pair of the reigning superstar hero, and then you have these string of hits to your career. I didn't have that many hits, but I was working in a variety of cinema. I was not working in regional cinema because I did not have work. I was working because I managed to schedule it into my diary, and hence I'd be working with filmmakers.